Afternoon and welcome to our spring school-based family data night. Bobcat parents, thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. We envision that Memphis Shelby County Schools will become a transformational district that provides opportunities for innovation to meet the needs for all scholars. This is our vision. As we reimagine 901, we are reimagining schools by creating 21st century learning facilities, reimagining communities through strategic partnerships, and reimagining education through academic programming. During our time together tonight, we will discuss how to access your child's report cards and progress reports. We'll talk about our Power School academic scorecard. We'll talk about our assessments, our Master Connect, which is our formative assessment, and our iReady diagnostics, which are our universal screeners. We'll update you on the K through 3 literacy commitment, talk about ways that we communicate with you, upcoming parent meetings. We'll talk to you also about tutoring, and then we will send you to your child's classroom so that you can discuss individualized data and how you can support your child in becoming a brilliant Bobcat. So, you may be asking yourself, why are we here? The purpose of this family data night is to inform parents on student progress within the various assessments, provide guidance on how to read the data reports, and then give recommendations for how you can help your child at home. So let's talk about accessing and viewing report card grades and progress report grades. So all parents are encouraged to either log into PowerSchool SIS on a computer as you did when you were registering your children, or to download the PowerSchool app on your phone so that you will be able to see your child's grades and conduct in real time. So you can do this by going to the SES website and click on the registration link, and you'll be able to sign in to PowerSchool. Or you can go to the App Store on your phone and just go ahead and download PowerSchool. On the screen, I have a sample report card. Report cards and progress reports look similar. Ironically, today is the day that all scholars brought home progress reports for the second 9-week period. We are halfway through the second 9-week period. It's very hard to believe, but we only have 4.5 more weeks before this 9-week period ends. And so this 9 weeks will end the day that students are released for the winter break. So let's make sure you are telling your child to concentrate courageously for the next 4.5 weeks to maintain or improve their current grades. Next up, we'll talk about the PowerSchool academic scorecard. The academic scorecard is a report that's available inside of the PowerSchool parent portal. When you access this scorecard, it actually allows you to view your child's academic, attendance, and behavioral data all in one location. And you can access this by going into PowerSchool and using your normal username and password, just like you would use to register your child for school. Once you log into PowerSchool, on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a space right up under where it had you click to register your child for the school year. There is a new link right up under it that is called the academic scorecard. And so you just click on that link And on the next screen, I'll show you what you will see. So this is the first page of the academic scorecard. In the top left-hand corner, it shows you your child's attendance. It tells you the number of days your child has been absent, and it tells you your child's current attendance rate for the district. The district is striving for students to be at school at least 92% of the time. Next to that, you will find out, it will say days chronically absent, and it will tell you whether or not your child has a satisfactory standing at this time. The last column across the top will talk to you about truancy and whether or not your child is satisfactory in this area. And so to be satisfactory in this area, a child cannot have more than 5 unexcused absences. So parents, it's very important that when your child is absent that you send us a note, either a handwritten note from you or a note from the doctor to let us know why they're out so that we can excuse their absences. Up under the top column that talks about your child's attendance, you will find your child's grades. You will find a section that talks about your child's behavior. It tells you it has progressive discipline. That is times that students may come to the office or see one of the admin team, but we don't issue an out-of-school consequence. Sometimes we just do a reset, but we do document all of those instances. So you'll have that. It'll tell you if your child's been in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, expulsion, and any kind of remands to a different setting. The bottom talks to you about your child's current levels academically. You will see the colors red, yellow, and green. Red means your child is not currently on grade level. Yellow means they're approaching grade level, and green means they're on grade level. And this is what's on the first page of the academic scorecard. On the second page of the academic scorecard, you will see all of the information related to each of the times that we assess your child. We assess them 3 times with a universal screener. We assess them 3 times with a diagnostic assessment. And then at the bottom, it talks about whether or not your child is meeting the criteria for the 3rd grade commitment. And lastly, parents, there is a print feature. If you press print, it'll give you, it looks like a JPEG image of your child's academic scorecard so that you can actually save it on your phone just like you would any other picture that you have. So once you push that print feature, this is what it would look like. You see how it gives you an image that actually looks like a printed copy, like you're going to print it on a printer, but it'll show you that on your phone. Moving on to our assessment resources. Now, parents, we do put this information on our school-wide calendar, but you can always access a list of all of the tests that we use to determine your child's level of progress on the MSCS website. All you have to do is go to www.scs-k12.org, put in 2 backslashes and the word assessment and a backslash, and it will actually pull up the entire calendar for every grade level. So if you have children that span the different grade levels, this would be a useful resource for you because you will be able to see the dates that all of your children will be assessed. This may be helpful if you're scheduling doctor's appointments and things like that to make sure your child's not missing any important assessments. One other useful space for parents to visit is the TCAP Family Portal. And so there are a few steps to getting into the family portal, but the first uh, thing that I want to talk to you about is how to find your child's state student ID number. It's not the number that we use routinely, where if you ask your child to log into their computer or their device at home, it's not that number. It's a different number. But if you log in to Power School on that same screen where you would click to get the academic scorecard, right up under that Power School number, that's the number that your child uses to log into their devices and every other thing in the system, there is a listing that says Tennessee State Student ID. This is the number you would put in to access your child's TCAP assessment information. So this is what the family portal looks like on the Tennessee Department of Education. If you have never logged into the site, you'll click on first time user. You'll put in that student ID number that you find inside of Power School and your child's birthday, and it will open up a screen that shows you your child's data. Now, students take the TCAP once per school year, and this is what the data report looks like for students. And so what you want to do is to look at the 4 different colors. There's orange, there's light green, there is a dark green, and a turquoise. Across the bottom is a key that lets you know whether or not your child is on track. There will be a black line, and it'll actually have a number in the center up under the 4 colors to let you know where your child falls on the continuum. We would like for students to score at least a level 3. Level 3 is on track, and level 4, it means that they have mastered all of the standards. Next, we'll talk about our school's current data and academic goals. Currently, our school has a TVAS level 3. A level 3 means that we grow our students one academic year, which means that they're on track to being able to perform the grade level work in the next grade level. But as you know, the pandemic has presented a few challenges for our scholars. So this year, our school is striving to be a level 5 school. This means that we grow them more than 1 year. And so in order to help our students to catch up, because some did not master all of the skills during the pandemic, in their previous grade levels. So we are striving to move our students at least 2 grade levels, which will either put them on track or put them above the next grade level. So we want to make sure we are pushing our children to strive for excellence, and that is why this year we are striving for 5. So the district formative assessment for Mastery Connect. Now, parents, iReady is a computer adaptive test. And so a computer adaptive test continuously adjusts the difficulty of the test, and this is determined by the answers that your child gives. So each time your child puts in an answer on the computer, it determines your child's level of understanding and adjusts the questions to make them more difficult if they're mastering them, or it backtracks and reteaches your child based on the mistakes that they made. It reteaches and clears that up so that your child can actually master that particular skill. And so with this diagnostic assessment, our students actually take this assessment 3 times per year. And so with the data that we actually receive from iReady, your child's teacher can determine the appropriate instructional skills and things to actually teach as they pull your child into a small group for intervention or instruction. On the screen, parents, you will see our winter 2023 iReady diagnostic results. We currently have 10% of our students in Tier 1, 60% in Tier 2, and 30% in Tier 3. If you would like to know which area to assist your child with at home, we currently need to strengthen our students' knowledge in number and operations. That is basic. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. When they can compute these types of operations with automaticity, it helps them to be able to think at high levels. So if you would work with your child on basic addition and subtraction, multiplication, and division facts, this will help us to increase proficiency at the Hill. Parents, I also want you to encourage your child to read the questions on the assessments. On the screen, you will see two sample questions from our 5th grade assessment that children took at the right before fall break in mathematics. And if you look at the question in the top left-hand corner, it says, which expressions are equal to 396? And it says to choose all that are correct. Our children are used to only having one answer that is correct. And on this particular problem, we had students to miss it because there were 3 correct answers. And so this is on in every grade level from second grade on up. There are questions that will tell them to pick 2, to pick 3, to pick every answer that is correct. And so please help us to remind our children to read the questions. Now, parents, students in grades K through 8 participate in skill-based reading and math screening assessments. And so iReady is the new intervention assessment platform that students are using. Last year we used Illuminate FastBridge. This year, iReady is actually used for both our students in special education and our regular ed students. It provides an in-depth look at our students' strengths and areas of need for specific skills in reading and math. And the goal of this process is to monitor our each student's progress to make sure that they're on track to achieving high levels of learning and making sure that they're on track and at the same pace as their grade level peers. In reading language arts, this is where our students were in late January when they took their winter universal screener. We currently have 22% of students scoring in Tier 1. This is a percentage that we doubled from our beginning of the year assessment to winter. We will take a end of the year assessment in about 3 weeks so that we can see just how much progress our scholars have made throughout the year. Tier 2, we have 45% of our scholars falling here, and Tier 3 is 33%. If you want to assist us in increasing proficiency in reading, our students currently struggle in the area of vocabulary. Not the sight words that we send home to you, but those everyday words. So think of every moment as a teachable moment so that you can introduce your child to new words that they may not encounter every day, but words that they need to understand so that they will be able to comprehend more things that they read. For instance, if you have the opportunity to take your child to the museum, you could read some of the placards and information so that your child will become knowledgeable about the historical things that are located inside of the museum and even know what a museum is if they have a passage on an exam that talks about that. Another example would be to take your child to the zoo where you would read the information about each of the different animals. This gives students some type of background knowledge, and that would assist them in science. So we are working to increase our children's vocabulary. One other way to increase children's vocabulary is to make sure that they read for 20 minutes every night. Students who read for 20 minutes each night learn 1 million words a year. As you read with your child, ask them basic questions about what is occurring in the passage. If you can find some informational text, and it could be on anything, it could be on frogs, if your child likes to read about dinosaurs, if they want to read about the history of the video game, their favorite video game or Pokemon, it doesn't matter what the text is. Ask them specific questions about what they're reading so that they can make sure that they actually understand how to break down that particular type of text. Also, have students to beware of questions now asked which thing is the most important thing that happened, and then the answer choices. All of the different things that they read about in a passage will be there, but they have to pick out what the most important, what the main thing that was talked about in a passage. Throw in some questions like that for your children so that they can get used to figuring out which things are important within the text that they're reading. Is your child chronically absent? The very first thing that we looked at today was the academic scorecard. And across the top of the academic scorecard, you will be able to tell if your child is chronically absent. Remember, chronic absenteeism is having 5 or more unexcused absences. Currently, we are sitting at between 90 and 94% of scholars who who come to school each and every day. Currently, we have about 9% of students who have fallen into the chronically absent category. Now, it's important for you to take a look at this feature within the PowerSchool app, or to ask for a copy of it so that you will know whether or not your child has brought all the notes that you wrote, or if you need to call Ms. Clark in the office and talk to her about your child's attendance so that you can clean it up. You could also talk to Ms. Coburn or our school counselor, Ms. Brookins, if your child's attendance does not look if you don't believe that your child had 5 unexcused absences, it could be due to us not receiving the information. Once your child receives their 5th unexcused absence, our system generates a letter which tells us that we need to meet with you. So if your child brings home a letter and it says that you need to meet with us about your child's attendance because we need to have like a SART meeting, it is not a bad thing. It is our way of keeping track and helping you keep track of the absences that your child has, and lets you know whether or not they have turned in those excuses that you send. You'll get that letter when your child hits 5 unexcused absences and when your child gets close to 10 unexcused absences. Now, remember we talked about how we wanted to be a level 5 school. One of the indicators for us becoming a level 5 school is to have less than 10% of students who are chronically absent. Currently, we have 2.7% of students in our population who are chronically absent. That number is probably lower than that. Please check to make sure that your child has been sending in those letters, bringing them to the office, giving them to their teacher to let us know why they've been out. This topic is the literacy commitment. Now, parents, on Tuesday, August the 30th, the Shelby County School Board members approved the rules and regulations regarding our policy number 5013, and it has additional guidelines for scholars in 3rd and 4th grade as outlined by the state. So that means that in our current literacy commitment, 2nd grade students will not be held to any success criteria for retention purposes. However, the academic support and interventions must continue for all of those students. And so Memphis Shelby County Schools identifies student achievement as its highest priority, and literacy commitment is a collaborative effort between schools, parents, and the community to ensure the success and reading readiness of our students. So let's talk about our literacy commitment to primary grades K through 2. The focus is on monitoring and supporting student success. And so for this school year, 2022 through 2023, students in grade 2 will not be required to meet success criteria points, nor will they be held to retention if they do not meet the 8 out of 12 success criteria points. This year, as a district, will monitor and support student success in grades K through 2 utilizing the universal screener iReady. And so at this time, a student who is not meeting grade level expectations, we will have academic support provided to them in the form of an academic support plan, which we will document in our Ed Plan system. If your child is placed on one of these support plans, you will be notified and you will be able to see which measures your child will be supported in. So just to give you a baseline for students who are identified as being at risk, or those students who need academic support plans. In kindergarten, we had our fall screener, and your child should have scored at least a 341 to be on track. In first grade, a 403, and in second grade, a 290. When you visit your child's classroom tonight, you will be able to check to see exactly where your child falls on this continuum. We will be testing students again, um, probably right after we get back from winter break, and they are expected to improve their scores by between 30 and 50 points, depending on the grade level. Now let's talk about the literacy commitment for students in grades 3 through 5. Let's talk about the rising third grade students. So, beginning with this school year, beginning with the 2022-2023 school year, a student in the third grade shall not be promoted to the next grade level unless the student is determined to be proficient in English language arts based on the student's achieving a performance level rating of on track or mastery on the English language arts portion of their TCAP test. If you have a child in grade 3, they must score on track or mastery to be promoted to the next grade level. This is our Accelerating Student Learning MSCS Literacy Commitment for grades 3 through 5. Talk about our MSCS commitment to our students. So what can you expect as a parent? Personalized plans for each one of your children, frequent communication about your child's progress, being able to access their academic scorecard and report cards and progress reports daily, weekly. Teachers update their grades weekly, and so you'll be able to see in real time the progress your child is making. We also have a school-wide calendar that we send home the first Wednesday of each month. It tells you everything that is going on in the school throughout the month. Your child should also be receiving a daily log, which I will show on the next screen. Parents, we want to thank you for continuously partnering with us to support your child. Now, while we love when you are able to participate in person, we understand that you're not always going to be able to do that. So what we ask that you do with your child each day is to read and work with them on their basic number facts: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. If your child is in need of assistance with their homework, I just want to make you aware that we have homework hotline. It's available from 3 to 8 p.m. A lot of the skills that we're teaching, especially in math, we're teaching them a different way. We're using different strategies, but Homework Hotline is available from 3 to 8 on Monday through Thursdays, and is offered in 7 different languages. So if you are looking at your child's homework and you are saying, it's been a long time since I have done this skill, I need some extra help, I need someone to walk me through it, just dial 416-1234 and you will be able to talk to someone if you want to do it via phone. And then if you go to the website that is on the screen, homeworkhotline.info/, you can do a web chat where you type in the questions and they'll actually answer you. So I just want to make sure that you are aware of this ongoing support we have. In addition to our school-wide commitments to parents, our district provides some opportunities for parents as well. To find these opportunities for family and community engagement, visit www.scsk12.org/family forum to find the live virtual sessions that are provided by our district.